Hey, you guys, and happy Friday. I love it when Spirit gives me a topic on a Friday. If I'm coming through, this will not take long, but it's really going to help you. I want to give you guys some higher level reasons why you should give. You know what? Before I even, disclaimer, I'm Richard Pryor today. I'm going to be Richard Pryor today. If you don't want to hear any profanity, get on out of here. Okay? If you are a child that shouldn't be listening to this, then you can get on out of here. Yes, I can talk without profanity, but I'm not doing that right now. So I'm going to give you guys some higher level reasons why you shouldn't give any fucks about the narcissist in the new supply, and we're going to be kicking triangulation in the ass. Years ago, I made a good video on fuck the narcissist in the new supply. Well, this is 2.0, okay? 2.0. I'm going to mention some things that we haven't talked about in that first one. And once this uploads and YouTube allows me, I'll tag the original video so you can get even more reinforcement. All right. So I have a list here of at least 10 things to keep in mind. So you're not getting caught up. And honestly, you guys, this can help in any situation, whether the person is a narcissist or not. If you are stuck, with your ex and not able to let go, or you too hung up on who they're dealing with currently, this is going to apply to you as well. And hey, Stay Hungry 100. I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? How have you been, sweetie? So let's jump into the list. The first thing that you guys need to understand about this is they're just going to be feeding off your energy. Yeah. A lot of times when a narcissist is jumping into supply, and I said new supply, a lot of times it's not even new supply. They've been knowing this person behind your back. They might have been jumping back and forth with this person even before they even knew you. Like, it's not really new supply. It might just be new to you and your awareness. And even if it is new supply, it's the same energy that they're finding in them, that they've whatever. But they're going to be feeding off of your energy, you guys. Let them stand on their own shit. Like, if this person was willing to cheat with your person to take them away from you, or, if the narcissist is willing to put you in a third party situation, or this toxic person, don't give them the gratitude or the benefit to be able to feed off of your disappointment, to see that you are brokenhearted. And, I don't even operate like that. Like, if you guys can get your emotional maturity to the point where if you were open-hearted with someone, right, you allow them to sit at your table. Hey, for those of you in romantic situations, which this is what it's dealing with, you even let them into your bed. You let this person touch you, kiss you. Like, you gave them access to your heart, your soul, your resources. And this person pissed and shit all over it, didn't give a fuck, betrayed you, spit in your face, sometimes literally. Like, who gives a fuck who you're going on to? I'm glad to be rid of you. Like, there's no heartstrings there, because who you thought you were loving, you weren't, So when this person is being malicious, because narcissists, they're sadistic, and some more than others, but they're all sadistic on some level. They're getting off on being able to feel like they're breaking you or hurting you. Because remember, they're on original assignment to break and hurt you anyway. We don't want them to be successful on that. So don't let them feed off of your quote unquote misery. Like, don't put that on display. Even if you are feeling some kind of way, like, learn how to not give people that privilege. Like, don't give them a front row seat to that. Like, do that in private. If you need to cry in a therapist's office, or whoever your confidant is, if you don't have nobody to talk to and it's just you and God, then hey, have a session with him. But don't make subliminal posts. Don't give them that energy. They're feeding off of it. And unfortunately, it's going to make you look pathetic. It's going to make you look pathetic, you guys. And you don't know what they're even telling that new supplies. I mean, really, who cares? But their perception of you looking from the outside in that narcissist is manipulating it based off of whatever you're displaying or whatever drama you're bringing, calling them, trying to fight for them back or whatever, is really just lowering your value and, letting that person know just how low you are and how much they got you in the palm of their hands. So let them stand on their own shit, especially if this supply is someone that they've been dealing with, like in between all other types of supplies. Let them stand on their own toxicity, because if they were, so this and that, they wouldn't be so on again and off again. But you're giving them something else to focus on when you allow them to just zero in on, the drama you're adding into the situation or the hurt and pain you're displaying for them. Now let them deal with their own shit, because what'll happen is they will ruin their own situation, or minimally they'll be left to make themselves miserable. Because if they were just feeding off of hurting you, because, that new supply could be an old supply that's mad at you because the narcissist was choosing you over them at a certain point. So they're happy to try to get a lick back on you. And then the narcissist is happy to be punishing you. So they're both just getting a high right now off of using you as the punching bag. So you have to not give them any of that. Strip them, you guys, of being able to do that. And then you will leave them in their own toxicity. They can't put it on you per se. So now they have to put it on each other, or, unfortunately, some other person is going to have to be triangulated or targeted at that point. But yes, do not allow them to feed off of your energy, you guys. Find a way to strip them of that. Gray rock, not even gray rock. It could hopefully be a no contact situation. All right. And then also understand, this is another reason the side person could be competing with you, or this new supply could have been competing with you and you don't even know it. So, and like I said, using your energy to fuel their BS. And they're happy to feel like they're taking something from you, even if it's a demon, even if it's a narcissist. That's crazy, right? The third thing, you guys, is two narcissists can get together. So we want to definitely starve them. Sometimes it's not them. The new supply is not another empath. It could be a lesser or greater narcissist. And in that case, honey, they're both like I said, they're both being sadistic, and they're both trying to beat you down and punish you and do this and that and use the situation to, fuel their narcissism. So you want to starve them both and be no contact with both. When you start giving a fuck about the situation, you guys, it's also letting this narcissist, who's probably a runner, know that they can go back and forth with you. So that's an obvious one right there. And it also means that you're keeping up some type of illusion, which means you're still not seeing that relationship clearly enough. And it's in some type of detriment, where you're either resisting the facts and reality of the stuff that's right in your face. I don't know how much of it could be naivety or a lack of emotional maturity, but you're definitely keeping up illusions and delusions there, which is dangerous, because that's just opening you up for more cycles of abuse, which leads to the next thing of delaying your progress, causing more setbacks, you guys, repeating cycles, being stuck in old energy and not being able to progress on to something new because you still haven't learned that lesson, right? You'll also be reinforcing bad behavior, because first of all, why would you even want this person back or give so much energy towards that? That really is alarming, to a healed person or, to someone who's done the work. When you think about that type of situation, it'll feel alarming that someone is being triggered to want to go back to that. All right. Now, this next thing is a big thing, and empaths, toxic empaths are really good for this. You'll be delaying their karma. You're getting in the way of their karma. You're getting in your own way, of course, of your progression or being able to move along. And, if you can move out of the way, you'll be moving, at least allowing for space for them to start getting their karma for you. Usually it happens once you actually like really let go of the situation. Once you really let go, they can't even pull on your energy like that. They won't be able to, because you're not vibing with them anymore. They can't tap into it. Going back, or getting too caught up in it, you'll be reinforcing your traumas and whatever type of ties you have with them, like the soul ties, versus destroying and cutting these things. You're reinforcing it, you're making it deeper, you're engraving it, which is just going to be cementing you or keeping you stuck or making it harder. And every time you go back, you're adding more negative memories, more exposures. Like, they'll be happy to have that, your energy for the day, if they can argue with you or throw some insults, and it's really not going to make you feel better. Even if you curse them out, you feel like you got something off your chest, they're going to get something off their chest too. All right. Also, you guys, you'll end up looking like a fool too. And your reputation can go down too. Because if they're abusing you so bad, if they're so this and that, like, why are you still involved? Why are you still interacting? Why are you still subjecting yourself? Right? And then they can also dump stuff on you because they'll have proof that you're still involved or you're still interacting in the situation. So if it's a situation where, this narcissist had to leave because you're so horrific, they run over to the other side, tell everybody that will listen that you're a piece of shit. And then you're not saying nothing. You're not arguing. You're not, indulging in it. And it's just done by themselves. It doesn't give them a lot of credibility. It starts stripping that away from them, as a matter of fact, at least to people that have any type of common sense. Now, to someone that just wants to fuel a beef or fuel toxicity, they don't care if they have the proof or not. They're just happy to hear about drama and add fuel to the fire, or edge that narcissist on to be even more toxic, because they're not caring about what's in that person's best interest anyway. Another thing, you guys, you'll be denying a gift of distraction that's being presented to you. If this narcissist is actually willing to leave you, even if in the back of their mind it's temporary, because they're going to come back at a certain point and try to start a new cycle with you. But if they were willing to leave at a certain point and be distracted with someone else, you could be taking that opportunity to break free, or to, get yourself straight, or really reinforce it that you're not going to be going back with them once you get them, away from you enough. So instead of taking that invitation to, start your healing process, whether they believe that you're going to stand on business or not, you'll be denying a gift. Like, thank God. Like, God is literally trying to make it easier for you. Like, instead of you having to jump through all of these hoops to get this person away, God can use the narcissist to try to reinforce a lesson to someone else who may need to learn something through them. Right? But either way, they're willingly walking away from you. Like, you got a toxic person that was not good for you, that you don't need to be with anyway, to get distracted with another person that either needs to learn a lesson or they need to destroy each other, one or the other, but they're away from you. Like, a toxic mind is going to feel hurt by that, instead of a non-toxic mind that's going to feel liberated and be like, secretly happy about it. And I have to say secretly, because you don't want to like let them in on it too much. Like, oh, this isn't hurting you? Like, you want me to leave? Maybe I'll stay, like, because they're doing something in their empowerment. They think that they're empowered to crush you and that you're just devastated. Let them think that. It's okay. Sometimes we have to check our own ego, and not have anything to prove to people who are beneath us anyway. Who cares what they think? Let them think what they want to think. Like, what you know. So another thing that I'd like to point out, you guys, is by being, giving these fucks and letting triangulation get you like that, it's going to show that you're still choosing that relationship over yourself. To me, that's the saddest part, honestly. It means that you're still choosing a toxic narcissistic relationship over yourself. So these type of relationships will require you to abandon yourself, definitely your higher self, and just sometimes just yourself, period. Like, you'll feel really disconnected because when you're with someone like that, they want it their way or the highway. You know, they're very controlling, and it's not about you. It's not about you ever. So, yeah, you never want to choose anything over yourself. And that's good. Stay hungry 100. I'm good helping others. That's good. Paradise says, my ex burnt so many bridges with me. It's been 6 months. I have not heard from him. Good. Good. Take that as a blessing. You know, take it as a blessing. Either A, this person is very distracted, you know, with whatever they got going on with whatever supplies they're with now, or B, they know that they cannot come back. They've exhausted. See, when you say like they burnt so many bridges, you know, they probably know, because as toxic as narcissists are, unfortunately, they have gifts too, you guys. And, you know, they can read people a lot of times. They're not always accurate, but a lot of times they are. And they may know that they've secreted the maximum, you know, they got every drop they could get out of you. So they know, like, it won't, you know, you probably will not fall for it. So it's good that they don't feel like you're going to fall for it. But, you know, hopefully next time, Paradise, it won't be so many chances that you'll give the person, you know. It can be one and done. A lot of times with toxic empaths, they have an issue with allowing things to be one and done. You don't have to give anybody multiple chances to fuck you over, you know. Usually with narcissists, they'll be one and done with you, like, or they'll even be paranoid. They'll be done before you even can get them back, because they want to get you before you get them, and they don't even want to give you a chance to strike back. With empaths, you know, the toxic ones, they're like, well, you know, maybe people do make mistakes, you know, and not keeping the source that you're dealing with here, you know, and probably their messy ass background or, you know, reputation that precedes them. And even if you can't go off of that, like, look at how they treated you. That's the best indicator there. But burnt so many bridges, yeah, that's rough. And then sometimes it's hard, you know, when it may be family members. And I understand that. Like, you might say, you know what, Lakia, I'm good. I could do this with strangers. I could do it with even my lovers, my friends. I'm having a hard time with my family, you know, because it feels like an extra attachment there. So sometimes it could be titles getting in your way at that point, because anybody with emotional maturity will tell you, like, just because someone is your family by blood, unfortunately, it doesn't mean it's your family by spirit. You know, it doesn't mean that they're really going to be a part of your soul tribe. And sometimes the energy can be planted within them, if their vessels are weak, to try to come and bring you down as well. Because, you know, that energy is desperate to take your light out, or to get you to join the other side, you know, so that your light can't be used for beautiful things at that point once they get to dim it. So if they can't do it through a friend, they can't do it through your boss, they weren't able to do it through your lover. If you have a family member that's not spiritual enough, or that's their vessel isn't, you know, guarded enough, they'll jump inside of them and use them. So you really have to be careful, which is why you'll see time and time again, when people get taken down, it's the person close enough to kiss them. And I'm not trying to say this so that you have to walk around being paranoid in life, because you don't have to be paranoid in life if you can trust yourself to protect yourself. So if you're a good protector of yourself, you won't have to feel that way. And if you are a realist, like I'm a realist, and I know like there's no perfect human being on this earth. And I know like everyone is at different levels of involvement. And as much as I love this person, I don't let my love blind me of seeing them for who they are as well. So if I know this person is unevolved, I know this person is messy, and they've been messy since it felt like since they came out the womb. If I know that family member is just who they are, I know that I can't let them have access to certain parts of me, you know? So Stay Hungry says, what about when they pump fake discarding you several times? By pump fake, do you mean pretend like they're going to discard you and then don't, or threaten to discard you when they're not going to, or act like they're about to dump you but then change their mind? Can you elaborate a little bit more about the pump fake? Okay, he said yes. Well, who's gonna let somebody play with my emotions? Here's the thing. Once we become mature adults and I'm giving you act like I'm bringing my healed self, right? You need to be able to have a filter about you. You can't just talk to me any kind of way. You need to stand on that. Like, say what you mean and mean what you say. And when a person gets messy like that, that's somebody that thinks you're codependent on them. That's somebody that thinks that you need that relationship. So they're just like if someone dangle a carrot in front of you, I'm going to marry you. I'm going to marry you next month, next year. Like they keep pushing the time back, future faking in that way. The same thing someone can oppositely do with breaking up with you. So they feel like, well, if I kind of threaten, I'm going to leave you or this is over, I'm going to, that you will get some type of submission. Like they feel like that's a threat that will get you in line, or that's something they can throw out, when they feel like they're losing the upper hand because they feel like you care too much about the ending. So yeah, if somebody's willing to pump fake you like that, they really think that you'll be devastated if they let you go. So don't let anybody be that powerful in your life. Most people are temporary anyway. And, as far as most people are not going to go through your whole life with you, but you want to think on a big picture, everything is temporary. Everything is temporary. Absolutely everything, you guys. Your body is temporary. Your time on this earth is temporary. Like everything has its time, and that's just straight facts. Everything. Even you could be with the love of your life. One day, one of you are going to die. It's all temporary. But in these type of situations, where somebody is pump faking you and trying to play with you, they're testing you out. They're trying to see how you're going to react to that. And that's where you got to stand in your strength. That's an indication of an emotionally immature person. Stay Hungry 100. Yeah. But they think you need them more than they need you. And they're calling you bluff. They, yeah. But I wouldn't take too kindly to that at all. I really wouldn't. That would feel insulting to me. So they're trying to see how bad, how bad you want that. Stay Hungry 100 says, how do you handle a psychopath narcissist? By staying in control and getting the fuck away from them. And, that's a very general question. Stay Hungry 100. And it, of course, is going to depend on what exactly they're doing, because that's not anything to play with. If you really feel like this person is a psychopath, like that's on the highest extreme of the range of narcissism. This person, their mind has a injury where they can't even feel emotions like a normal human being. Like we say narcissists don't have empathy, but the psychopath is on the highest level of that. That's a very dangerous person. They're very premeditated. They tend to be very intelligent as well. They're very sneaky and slippery and slimy. Like, yeah. So how do you handle them is to try not to be in a situation where you're actually handling, like hand them off, like get them out of your life in the best way possible. Don't call them out. I would not recommend Stay Hungry 100 that you call them out. See, especially a toxic empath, sometimes we tell the left hand too much about what the right hand is doing. And that's why a few moments ago, when I was saying, I think when I first started the live, I was talking about don't give them that energy when I talked about how they can get together and feed off of your misery, feed off of your displays of being disoriented and your life is falling apart and all this other stuff. You don't always have to call people out on their shit. You really don't. And when it's like a psychopath, it's best that you don't, because what you're doing is you're causing narcissistic injuries. And you might be like, who cares? But this person is fueled off of revenge on the highest level. And I'm not saying that you wouldn't be a match for them, but it's like, I want, what is the real goal? The real goal is to get rid of the person, not feed your ego, not try to get in a ring with them. Because what you also have to understand is, and any professional psychologist will tell you, these psychopathic narcissists and just narcissists, period, they have been through so much drama. They have started so many fights that they'll understand the next thing to do to you quicker than you might, because, you know, how many psychopathic narcissists have you been involved with? Like, this person has been doing this their whole life. So while you may be more experienced in peace, love, and light, they're more experienced in darkness, evil, and sadistic. So their mind, they're going to think of so many, you know, they're already premeditating what you might do next. They're already thinking actually a few steps ahead. Now, once I see him do this, I'm going to do that. And then, like, they done mapped it out because they feel like they understand your profile. But now it's time for you to understand their profiles. But it's better to not call them out. And it actually gives you the upper hand, because whatever you think you know they're going to do, you can quietly prepare for it. You can quietly prepare for it. And now you're actually on the offense versus the defense while they think you're on the defense. Okay? That's important. So once you let the secret out that you expose them, I know you did this, I know you're going to do that, they're just going to go back to the drawing board, because a psychopathic narcissist can be very relentless. Like, they just focusing on one goal, and sometimes they might not even have nothing to lose, honey. So be careful. You know, it's better to move in silence with these people and let them underestimate you, because one of the 48 laws of power, and it might be the 50th when he went to 50 Cent, Robert Greene and 50 Cent, is when people underestimate you, it makes you extremely powerful, because they don't see you coming while they think you don't see them coming. Okay, so don't call them out, but don't be caught sleeping. You know, try to find a way to get this person out of your life, even if you may have to present yourself as being weak and humble in some type of way. Oh, it's me, it's not you. I just don't think I'm ready for a relationship right now. Meanwhile, like, bitch, I know you crazy as fuck. I'm getting the fuck away from you as fast as I can. Like, you know, you don't have to, everything you think, it don't have to come out of your mouth. Like a lower range narcissist who has like no control, maybe even a sociopath one. But yeah, you have to become strategic too, but it's not because you're being evil, but it's just because you don't want to add fuel to the flame, because fuel to the flame means you're drawing them near. Okay. And we want to draw them the fuck away. Like, look, let you think, if you want to think you won, see, now once they think they won, chances are they could have completed their thing on you, whatever you want to call it. And now they're going to move on to their next victim, hopefully, unless they really feel like they haven't done enough to you, and then they want to prepare for something else. And, you know, hey, but it's going to just require you to just tap into your emotional maturity and not be ran by your ego. and not, let the left hand know what the right hand is doing. Hey, my Miracle 79. Yeah, she was saying very dangerous. It is. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, we laugh about narcissists, but there are some very serious, once we go up the range and it gets very sadistic, you guys, people have lost their life. Paradise says, I told my ex he was a narc. He said I was the first woman who called him that. And he truly 100% is a narc. Yeah. Yeah. And he might know that he's a narcissist, but do they care? I don't think so. I don't think so. And thank you for your donation, Hungry. I Stay Hungry 100. Yeah. 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 So at the end of the day, you guys, the giving of the fucks, as far as the narcissist and a new supply, any fucks you would give should only be about your safety, if that is a thing, if that's a thing. And it may not be. Oops. So all of that, what are they doing? Are they going to get a better life? You guys should know by now. They're not. They're just going to get what you got, no matter how pretty they try to make it look at first. Everyone, they're going to have a love bomb phase, and they might just make it look good and it's falling apart behind the scenes, but who cares? It's just too much. Like, it's too much of a deflection. I almost want to say you could be possibly distracting yourself at that point from dealing with what happened between you and them by being focused too much on what's going on between them. Like, who cares what they're doing? Like, how did they treat you? Even if it looks like they're treating them good, they treated you bad. Like, who cares at that point? Like, it has to be like that simple. I don't care like what was my experience? What did they do to me? Like, the self-love, it has to increase. The self-love has to increase, and it has to become insulting at a certain point when you actually meet someone with sincerity, love, and light, and they meet you with evil, disrespect, ungratefulness. Like, bro, that has to become just, as far as your boundaries go, that has to become a deal breaker. There's no coming back from that. You have to stand on it for life. I don't care if you had a come to Jesus moment. I don't care if you're sincerely sorry from the pits of your heart. I don't care if this person is going to be better for the next person. Then be better for the next person, because you will never get the opportunity to do that to me again. And this is like from adult to adult. Turning the other cheek. People can change. Okay, well, perhaps. But in reality, most people do not change. And that's real facts. Most people do not change. And especially when we're talking about narcissists, it's extremely hard for them to cure that. Extremely hard for them to cure that. But maybe they're not meant to change, because like I've said many times, narcissists get used in life. You don't have to be a good person to be used in a good way. Like, them hurting you make you stronger and actually end up making your light shine brighter, because they're giving you emotional maturity in a hard knock in the street of hard knocks type of way. Like, you're learning live and direct, and some people have to learn that way. All of us learn in that way in some shape, form, and fashion. Okay, pain is a great tool to getting you to get your attention on something and learn that, ouch, that hurt, I don't want to do that again. So they get used. They don't have to change. You're the one that has to change. And also, don't worry about letting that other person know, because they're being love bombed. They're just going to think you're a hater ex that's mad that you got left or mad that you had to walk away. So let people learn for themselves. All right. And then, you also have to understand that person could be in denial as well. Are they not ready to see it because they have to learn some lessons, hopefully, or not? That's their decision. But it's about taking invitations. And I've said that in other live chats too. The narcissist is always extending an invitation. They can really, more than not, only do what you allow them to do. The devil is a funny thing. He's a funny energy. He will give you an invitation, but you have to take it. You have to turn away from yourself. You have to be willing to turn away from your God. You have to be willing to go against the voice inside of you and your better judgment. But he just gives you temptation, and he'll try to pick a temptation he thinks is strong enough to get you to be weak enough, to be prone enough, to have the probability enough that it'll work. That's all that is. So if you struggle with that, it means that you may need to work on your instant gratification. Some people don't know how to delay gratification, and it gets them in trouble. And you end up in fake, phony, hurtful situations. So I can't delay the gratification. I'm actually waiting for a real healthy relationship. So I'm going back to this toxic one. Yeah, I'm in a fake, phony situation that's actually abusing me and messing me up and causing me to have more work to get to the healthy relationship. Now I'm not even healthy for the healthy relationship because now I got to do more work on myself, or I got to heal from additional things because they've done, cause additional abuse in your life, or residual pieces that you have to clean up. And triangulation in itself, just that word, it has to be annoying. I mean, unless you're in polygyny, which isn't triangulation. Those are consenting adults that, want to be and have multiple partners and agree to that. But the fact that someone would try to triangulate you, that has to be insulting. There is no triangulation. Once you attempt that, you could just stay there. The triangulation ends right there. Because I refuse, You're not going to take that invitation. But when you're putting a relationship on the throne over yourself, that's, or when you have a lack mentality because you feel like that's the best you could get, or you're too invested. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I have an opposite perception on things. Some people stay because they have invested a lot of energy when it should be the opposite. Like if I gave you that much love, I gave you that much time, I gave you that much of my energy, that much of my heart, that much of my resources. I reinforced my love for you over and over and over again. So you put in work, and that's the best the person can do. That's what they're still going to subject you to. That's what they still want to, That has to be startling. Not startling to give more time. Why? That's just like saying, oh, this person wasted my money, but I'm still going to give them more money. Why would you do that? You're wasting my time. Time is a currency. It's the most expensive currency that we have. It's the one thing you can't get back. You can't get it back. I don't even care if we have like lifetimes to come. Those are lifetimes to come. That's not repeating time. That's not going back in time. Like you can't get that year back. You can't even get a month back. You can't get 1 second to go back. So, they're playing with your time, and time is precious. Time is precious. Time is precious. These people can generally only do what you allow them to do. And if codependency is a thing for you, then it is definitely something to take a look at. All right. So what I'll do right now is just run down one more time what I came up with. Number one, they'll just feed off your energy, you guys. Number two, the side person is probably competing with you anyway and using your energy to fuel their relationship. Two narcissists can get together, so starve both of them. You're delaying their karma when you get back involved or get involved in the drama or add to the drama. You're getting in your way, you're getting in their way. Keep it moving. You're reinforcing your traumas and your soul ties and, anything toxic that's spiritually connecting you to that situation versus destroying it and cutting it. You'll look like a fool too. Your reputation can suffer as well. And they can actually use your interactions with them to dump more shit on you and accuse you of being the troublemaker and, flip the script and make it look this way and that way. Versus they're talking a bunch of shit, you're not even reacting, you're paying it with dust, you're moving on, doing other stuff, not even being concerned. It just strips all their credibility. It strips it away. You're denying a gift that the universe is trying to give you. It's a gift of distraction of removing this person, actually getting them to leave out of their free will or whatever the demon is inside of them. That demon has decided to go over to that side of the fence for now. Even if the demon thinks it's going to return to you, you're getting a moment to break free. So you get caught up in giving the fucks, going back and being triangulated. You're denying yourself the gift. You're reinforcing the narcissist's desire to come back and forth with you, is letting them know, even if they're not sure if they want to come back to you, your reaction is all they're going to need to know. I can come back to them. They are weak for me. I do control them. They're my puppet. Yeah. Which additionally lets you know that you are keeping up these illusions and delusions. You're still not seeing things clear enough. You just got to be able to see things at least minimally clear enough. That's why when I talk about, us being imperfect, you guys, I always just say, if you're at least getting healed enough out of your detriment, because none of us are perfect human beings, and there's some character flaws or short sights or vulnerabilities that you may struggle with for a lifetime. But if you do enough work on yourself to where it's not to your detriment, where people can't use it, like I already have the self-awareness. I know I struggle in this area, and I've set up safeguards to where abusers and predators, narcissists, psychopaths, sociopaths who are still narcissists, where they can't use that over me. I've done enough work to where I can catch myself. Well, I've minimized other people's ability to use this against me. And that requires getting real with yourself. And that requires then, doing the adequate work and having the adequate tools and perspectives and processes to help you do that. All right. Of course, getting caught up in all of this is going to delay your progression, cause setbacks, repeat cycles, keep you in old energy, not bringing in the new, not closing, the chapter. You're reinforcing bad behavior. You guys, I made a live chat maybe 6 weeks ago, and I talked about how we reinforce bad behaviors with narcissists. You're reinforcing the bad behavior by throwing your pearls in front of swine. They don't deserve a loving person. They don't. They deserve to be with other messy people. They deserve to be with other narcissists, worse than them, so that they can get their karma dish. Why are you coming in and intercepting it? you're reinforcing bad behavior. You're basically saying you could be a narcissist, you could do cycles of abuses, and you could be with a loving person. What the fuck? What? They don't deserve no love. They deserve strict punishment. You need to kick those demons' asses. But the way that you do it is by not feeding them, not giving them access. We got to stop reinforcing bad behavior, letting people who aren't relationship ready have access to the people who are. No, they need to be right in the barrel with the other people like them, not pulling you down. You need to get out of the barrel with them, honestly. But reinforcing that bad behavior by allowing them to even have access to someone like you, you know? You got to have accountability with yourself and with others that you allow to have the privilege, because it should be a privilege, right? Have the privilege to be able to connect with you in any shape, form, or fashion. Even if I'm allowing you to be my associate, it's going to be on my terms. You know, things can be on your terms too. Just like the narcissists want things on their terms, but, you know, their terms are just chaotic and centered around abuse and manipulation. Your terms are more so centered around your own type of self-preservation. They think that's their self-preservation, of course, because that's all they know how to do, and they don't want to change. So to them, it's preserving their toxicity and their way of life. But you need to preserve yours, right? So it's nothing wrong with having those boundaries. And as soon as you see where this person isn't going to be keeping them, you know where you should be putting them. So, and the last thing that I mentioned, you guys, is by getting involved and giving these fucks, you are showing that the relationship is still over you. So basically, you're choosing something else over yourself. And in this life, you shouldn't be choosing anything over yourself. You shouldn't be choosing another person over yourself. And especially someone that's abusing you and using you. You know, yeah, can we have selfless actions? Can we have selfless contributions? Yes. But you have to preserve yourself ultimately, because how else are you going to be able to share your light and get to the finish line of all the goals if you just let people just draining you left and right without any type of boundaries, without any type of repercussions? You're just a free-for-all. How can you really be fully utilized, and especially on higher levels? It's going to be hard for God to work with your light because you don't even know how to protect it. You're not selective about it. You should be selective. You should be picky, because you see what happens when you're not. And if this person had access to such a kind heart, to your generosity, to all that love, and they took it for granted, who gives a fuck who the hell they're with, as long as they're not with you? Your job at that point is to make sure you see it for what it is and get them away from you. That's your job. But if you struggle with knowing how to protect yourself, that's going to be a problem. And people who haven't been protected in life sometimes don't know how to protect themselves. And this is where people have to learn how to nurture themselves. Let's say your original caregivers weren't the greatest, or maybe they were the original narcissists in your life. They just took from you. They treated you basically the way this person is kind of doing, and mirror in that, romantic relationship. But that can't be our excuse. That can't be our excuse. Just because we've had narcissistic parents, or, someone dropped the ball in our childhood, it doesn't have to continue to be an excuse in your adulthood. That's why you have to do the work. And honestly, that makes it even more important. Like, because I didn't get the love from my mother, from my father, because I never had no one, I really got to be there for myself, because I never had it like that. I really can't be just all willy-nilly with my energy, my time, my resources. I have to look out for myself. You don't have to do it in a narcissistic way, but you have to do it in a a self-preservation type of way, because people aren't going to care. They are not going to care. And I've said this in other live chats. Stop thinking other people are going to be like you and treat you like you or return the favor. You know, sometimes toxic empaths, they will treat people the way that they want to be treated before that person has even earned the right to that treatment. It's like, okay, we do teach people how to treat us. That's true. That's true. But showering them and pouring so much into someone that you just met, which is a form of a love bomb, it is. And that speaks to codependency, rushing things along, over investing. But does that person deserve that much of you? But I don't want to digress into another topic, you guys. I hope that this, talk helps somebody who's given too much of a fuck about their ex. It's okay, especially, when you know there is a narcissist, and they're just trying to triangulate you to really keep you in a cycle of abuse. Stand back in your power. I don't care what this person did to you or how low the situation actually got. And as a matter of fact, the more stuff that they did to you and the lower that it got, the even more, you should be even more fueled at that point. And I understand like people feeling broken down and this and that. But the fact that somebody oppressed you like that, they thought they had a nerve to do that to you, to try to play God in your life, like you should feel some kind of way. You should feel some kind of way. And if you never stood up to anybody, you could stand up to them. But the way that you stand up to them, like I was telling Stay Hungry 100, is by standing up for yourself. It's not by cursing them out. It's not by trying to call them out on everything. It's about changing your boundaries, changing how you allow people to fuck with you or not fuck with you, and knowing how to be one and done, allowing yourself to see things for what it is and not what you wanted it to be. Allow people to make their own decisions too. Because sometimes toxic empaths are like, wait, they're going to walk away from all this love. They're making a mistake. I'm going to talk them out of it. No, let adults make their own decisions. It's not your responsibility to change anybody. Even when I make these videos, I'm not trying to change nobody. I'm putting the information out there, and the people who want to change will do it. That's how I feel about it. I'm never trying to change anybody. I'll get to know someone, and either it's good enough for me or it's not. But I'm going to see them for where they are. I'm not trying to take a project. I'm not trying to make a fixer-upper. So if this person thinks that, they're going to find these good people in every corner and they can do better without you, or they can upgrade for you, or you know what, I got this person on the palm of my hand, I can go use this person and then I'll come back to use them. Or you know what, they're a little bit tired right now, I'm going to let them rest and go use this new shiny person, and I'll come back to them. If they feel like, and that's what they feel, but I know what I know. I know once you make that decision, that's it for life, honey. And that's not about bitterness. That's not about being resentfulness. That's not about being evil or mean. That's my boundaries, because if they do it once, they will do it again. I have yet to see a narcissist not stay true to what a narcissist does. Like, they're going to do what they do. And that's why I said earlier, you're the one that has to change. You're the one that has to change, buddy. Because it's your life. Like, wherever you go, you're going to be. If you want to keep, having more trauma to heal from, instead of, you know what, that's enough. I've been through enough pain in my life. I'm taking my lessons. I'm going to do better. And I'm going to choose better. And I'm going to be able to get out of the situation. Because it doesn't mean narcissists are everywhere. You're going to keep attracting them. And especially, honey, if you got more light, the more light you have in you, the more of them you're going to attract. But as long as you know better, they're not going to get that far with you. You'll be slaying their intentions. You'll be seeing right through them. You'll be picking up on those red flags and allowing them and really picking up on them. Not ignoring them, not minimizing them, not having to see the red flag like 10 times before you'll take it serious. Like, nah, I seen it the first time. And you'll start feeling good about it. And the other thing is, you may need to be comfortable with solitude. You know, be comfortable being by yourself. It doesn't mean you're alone. Just because you're by yourself, you're not alone. You're not. Especially if you're a spiritual person. There's all types of stuff around you. You cannot see it with your eyes, but it's there. It's there. But that's why narcissists, sometimes they will go and pick on people that they think don't have support around them. But you got your ancestors, honey. You have God. You have guardian angels. You have spirits around you. You have so much around you. Some of us may have so much more help in the spirit realm than we have here in the 3D. You know, don't take that and feel like you're alone just because you don't have enough people to rely on. But you see how flawed people are. Like, you have to help where it counts. That's the kind of help that counts the most. Not people that will, chances are, let you down more than not because they're just imperfect, you know? But it's some things you should want to just take to God over everything. So know where the power truly lies, and it's not in having numbers here on earth. That's not where the power truly lies, because it's a spiritual war. And, you know, they just keep taking licks at you, and they're hoping that they'll get you to a breaking point where you will just give up on your light. Then they could just feast on you and you're just done. Like, you ever see people out in the street, and some of it is mental illness. Some of it is where they're just talking to themselves and they just seem like they're just stuck in between realities. Like, are they even like really here on earth? Like, their mind is all over the place. The devil worked on them and hit them and hit them and hit them. Yes, they can have a mental illness that they're not getting proper treatment for as well. But to me, some mental illnesses are very spiritual as well. Some types of mental illnesses, they're very spiritual to me as well, which means there's an entity, there's a demon in there, and it's tearing them up. It's tearing them up. They're not able to get it out of them. Or whatever the life circumstances they went through, it eventually broke them. And these could have been like people who were at one point rising stars and, you know, had everything going for them, but they took an invitation, and maybe they took an invitation too many times, and spiritually, you know, it was crushing them. And eventually it was like a straw that kind of broke a camel's back type of thing. So we just have to be careful. You know, that's like on the, I won't say the worst end of it. The worst end is like literally losing your life. Even those people that are out there talking to themselves and just like out of it, even they could actually come back from that. But they've been beaten into submission. You know, life has beat them into that submission. And it's sad. You know, I see people that I've seen out on the streets for years. Sometimes I want to have a conversation with them, and I have, but they're not ready to change either. They've accepted, they've given up, you know, they've abandoned themselves and they've given up. Yeah. I know one night I went to get some Chinese food, and I did talk to a lady because, you know, she wanted some food, some money to get some food. So I bought her the food and I gave it to her. And while we were waiting for the food to be prepared, I had a conversation with her because I could see, like, you know, I could see a lot in her. Like, I could see the beauty that could still be there, but she was lost to the street. She was on drugs. You know, she had an addiction problem. And she told me she'd been out on the streets for like over 20 years, and it was like hurting me as an empath because I was feeling her pain, you know, but she didn't have the strength or the desire to really make that change. She accepted that fate. She was accepting that. It's hard to see it. I know it's hard to see it. And I'm like, don't you have family, friend? Like I really had an in-depth conversation with her. And it reminds me of some guy on YouTube. He interviews people out on the streets for this reason and that reason, you know? And some of them is just, you know, they had a situation and family kicked them out and it's like short lived. But some of them stories are really deep, like starting from their childhood. And, you know, everyone's got a story. But let your story be one of the victor, because being a victim is a choice. It really is, you guys. Someone can victimize you. Absolutely. Can you be victimized in life? Absolutely. Can someone take advantage of you? Can someone steal from you? Can someone inflict pain on you? Yes, but you don't have to be nobody's fucking victim. Like, yeah, I was victimized, but I'm not their fucking victim. I got the fuck back up. And I'm doing even better. I've recouped whatever the fuck they thought they lost from me. My mind is stronger. My money is longer. Whatever. I'm good. Like, I'm nobody's victim. Don't ever be anybody's victim. The narcissist wants you to be their victim. They want you to go into a victim mindset. No, know what you deserve. Like, knowing your worth. Like, I know that's a cliche line, but it is real. A lot of people don't know their worth. And because of that, they settle for the bullshit. You can't kick triangulation in the ass if you don't know your worth. You can't. You're going to be given too many fucks. And you're going to get in life what you think you deserve in a certain way. When it comes to these personal relationships that you have to agree to, yes, you're going to get to decide it. Now, if you decided you want to take the invitation to another round of cycle of abuse, it's your decision. It's not your original narcissist. It's not the mother and dad that didn't love you right. It's not, as an adult, you have to take the accountability, but that's a good thing, because that means I get to decide whether I go up or down, whether I'm going to improve or not. It's better to take control and take the accountability. You know how many people walking around 70 years old still throwing shit on their mother that didn't love them right? Okay, but you turned 18 when? Like, when did you take control of the situation? Oh, it's still on your mother to do this for you now? Or because she didn't do that when you were 5? And I'm not minimizing the hurt and the traumas that we can have, but it's 2024. You have access to get the help that you need to move forward, you know, and not use toxic crutches, because then you will be a victim. You know, this channel talks a lot about victimization, but I do not promote being a victim for anybody. That's not going to serve you well in this type of life, honey, because it's not getting easier. People are getting more craftier, and you need a thicker skin. You need an armor. You need to know your rights, your spiritual rights, and they're going to be based off of the boundaries that you're allowing for yourself. Because like I said, and one of the things, you could be denying your own rights. Like, you're denying a gift when they're actually, like, you're just seeing stuff in an opposite manner because you're running off of a toxic mind. You have to renew it. You got to renew your mind. So whatever mind fucks that relationship has done to you, you need to really renew your mind. That takes self-awareness and self-reflection. That's why I named this channel, you guys, strategically. I named this channel Reflection and Progression, because we want to reflect on stuff in order to progress. I didn't say dwell on it for the rest of your life. I didn't say get stuck on it, but yeah, we need to acknowledge it, because that's the first step. You can't even acknowledge this person is bad for you, and you don't need to be going there. So, and yesterday I talked about having realistic expectations about the healing process. You're going to get triangulated and all types of shit if you don't get realistic about the healing process. Yes, when you, generally speaking, when you first break up, if you're the one that left them or they left you, either way, you're going to feel like shit at first. Chances are you guys were addicted to each other. And just like breaking any addiction, like imagine being addicted to crack. and then not having it, you were on it for 10 years, and this is your first week without it, you're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel worse than ever. But it's not about your feelings, it's about the facts. Because the facts is you're detoxing your body, you're retraining the cells and everything so that your body gets used to not relying on that. Like, it gets so bad for them, they have to go into a treatment center. And sometimes the doctors have to give them a lesser drug to even wean them off, because their body is just very toxic. They haven't been putting vitamins in it. They haven't been nourishing it. And when they're getting that, it doesn't feel the same because it's not giving them that dopamine hit from the drug that they were taking. And it's the same thing with that love bomb phase that we want to feel again. And for people who've been in many cycles of abuse, it becomes very subconscious at that point. And that's why you really got to dig deep and really get that self-awareness. But it's not impossible. It is not impossible. So many people have elevated and, moved forward. There are people that may have even graduated from my channel on a certain level. They might come back from time to time and get a little bit of reinforcement, but they graduated from a certain level of involvement. Like, it's just certain things they would just never be going back to. Like, yeah, when I first came to the channel, I was going through it, man. But, I've elevated. I've grown through it. And I know I will never go back to that. I never go back to that. And that's progression. So, all right, you guys, I love you. Live chats are a good time to ask questions. If you do want to ask a question, you're welcome to do that. You're always welcome to do that. Very plum. Darcy says, hi, Lakia. Hello. So yeah, I'm going to keep this open, you guys, so that, for like 2 minutes in case someone's typing. If anyone has a question about their situation, you're welcome to ask. I do live chats because I do like to interact with you guys, and it's easier for me as well. I don't like to edit. I'm like, you know what? We'll have the conversation. I don't want to edit. Live and direct, baby. But I hope everybody's doing well. And this too shall pass. This too shall pass. That's how you have to feel about these situations. Yeah. Yeah, we're towards the end, sweetie. She said, I missed your last live, but I'm so happy to catch this, even if it's at the end. Yeah. But YouTube will upload it. This too shall pass. It's all temporary. It is temporary. Your pain is temporary, especially when you're actively working on it. Their bullshit is temporary. Very Plum Darcy has a question. She says, why don't they leave you alone? Because they think they still have an opportunity with you. Something inside of their mind. And they could be in denial too. Like, you might really be standing on business and they have absolutely zero chances of being successful with you. But it may be something inside of their mind that thinks that A, they can get back with you, or B, that they could still mess with you somehow. Like, even if they feel like, you got to think about the sadisticness. They're like, okay, fine. This person isn't going to take me back. Maybe I could A, wear them down, but B, maybe I could still manage to upset them somehow. Like, these interactions are going to have some type of reaction on you. And, energetically, I'm able to still mess with you. So it might not even always be when they not leaving you alone that they want to come back. They still want to be able to have some type of effect on your life. and they may not actually be ready to get out of your energy, because you have to think about it, especially if you're an empath, or if you were love and light in their life. They don't want to get out of the energy because that energy felt good. Who is like, if they were addicted to you, basically, because I was just describing that whole dynamic, they want to get high again. They're not ready to let go. So if they're with you, it's a way for them to still try to touch your energy somehow. Even if you're texting them back, leave me alone, they got a little bit of energy because you even said something back to them. Oh, she's still acknowledging me, or they're still acknowledging me. So who wants to leave a person that really loved them? Nobody really wants to let that person go. I would always want to have access to that person. So they could be in their own little withdrawal at that point. And, sometimes narcissists know that the pesky will gets the oil. I don't know. I probably said that wrong. Sometimes people can get worn down. Like you're like, you know what? That's like a guy that really likes a beautiful woman and he keeps trying with her and he got 500 no's, but then she had just broke up with her boyfriend. The timing was right and he made that attempt and he squeezed through the crack that day. He got a okay, or he got a yes, so they know, like, sometimes like they could just catch you at the right moment, honey. All their little patience would be paying off. So could be something like that too. They slick, you guys, but you just have to be right. She said opportunist, right? But I'm telling you, you ain't going to go wrong by increasing your emotional maturity. I'm telling you, you have to increase it. And I've made like this example before, like a detective, when he goes on a murder scene, he's taken all of his lessons from all the crime he's seen throughout the years and just understanding the profile of these people. And it's helping him be able to even predict what this person might do next. Like once you become like that, like you'll be dangerous to them. And honestly, sometimes they won't leave you alone because you did have the boundaries. Like it might even turn them on. Like, damn, like this was the one person the games didn't work on. This was the one person that stood up to me. If it was a guy, it might even get his dick hard. Like, you go ahead and run into a player guy that has played all these women, and then you were the one that actually put him in his place. His dick is hard. He's like, I got to conquer her. I'm not leaving her alone. Like, it's turning me on. It's giving me a chase. It's exhilarating. They haven't even been on that chase before. Like, damn, everybody else gave it up on the first date, or like, she really, what? You could be turning them on just by actually being a healthy person. Because it's like, I got to step my game up. It's like, it's a challenge that they want to take. So sometimes it could be that too, honey. It could be that too. You make that person fall in love with you. Oh my gosh. When the higher evolved empaths be turning them players out, make them retire for nothing, and they still get dumped. Players can retire, but we're talking about narcissists too, which a narcissist definitely is a player, but a player may not be a narcissist. So she said, thanks for the info. First she said, oh no. Oh yes, as long as you know. I done thought about all the angles here. And that's a good tip as well about seeing angles. On this channel, we love to see the angles because then there's no blindsiding, or at least it minimizes it, you guys. Like, don't be so one-dimensional. Sometimes people can only see from their perspective. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Try to. That's how you get good at reading people and energy, Yeah, very plum. Darcy says knowledge is power for sure. It is. It's powerful if you use it. Just knowing it and sitting on it and not actually applying it is a waste. It's just wasted wasted wisdom right there. But if you're actually using it, yes, then it becomes powerful. And then knowing how to use it as well. Like I told Stay Hungry 100, you don't have to always let people know. All right, what you know. But you take what you know to make your next move the better move, and so forth and so on. She said, indeed. Yes, indeed. And on that note, you guys, I'm going to end the live chat. It was great talking with you. If there's any topics that you would like for me to address, you can let me know. I'm more than happy to help you guys. I hope that everybody is doing well, and I certainly hope that no one is giving any fucks about the narcissist and the new supply, and you are kicking triangulation in the motherfucking ass. Okay? All right, you guys. I love you. Have a great weekend. You're welcome, sweetie. Yeah, I just, I don't want none of my subscribers getting caught out, okay? I don't want none of my subscribers getting caught out there. I don't want none of y'all shedding no more tears over these dusty, crusty ass, demonic ass fuck faces. Like, seriously, I don't want it for you. I don't. You guys have been through enough. And if you haven't been through anything good, all right, you deserve to be happy. But it starts with you. All right. Take care, you guys. I love you. Do what's best for you. I'm going to say it again. Do what's best for you. What is your best interest? Always. Always. And it is what it is. Make people come up to your level or get the fuck on. That's it. Be exclusive. That's it. It's okay if it means that you don't have a bunch of people around you. That's okay. Trust me. The more people around you, the more watchful you'll have to be. Make people have to come up to your level. All right? That's how you protect yourself. Take care, you guys.